Hello and welcome to Your Questions Answered with Father Gruner. I'm John Veneri. In this program, we take the questions that you send us. Father Gruner answers them and we talk about them. Please continue to send them to us, please. questions@thefatimacenter.com. Here's a question that actually has two questions. First, it says, I'm glad you said what you did, referring to a previous program. I'm glad you said what you did about the Buddha statues. I have a couple of those statues in my house. Now I intend to get rid of them. Should I just throw them in the trash, or is there some other way to dispose of them?
Well, first of all, as I believe I mentioned last time that these Buddha statues are really pagan idols, and as such they give the power, the devil has some power by people who have them, okay, over the person who owns them or people who are around them. People, you know, people think the power of the devil is only in possession. That certainly there is in possession, and certainly the power of the devil is quite manifest. But it's not the only way the devil influences people. He also vexes people or causes vexation, and that can also be cut down or removed by exorcism. But just as the Catholic Church has its sacramentals, such as we have a crucifix, which represents our Lord's suffering and passion on the cross, and reminds us of that, and we should say a prayer and thank Him for it, and in gratitude, and also resolve not to do better in our life and not to commit sin and so forth. The devil has his signs, has his symbols, has his. I hate to use the word sacramental because it really is only for God, and for the Catholic Church, but has these symbols of honoring the devil and his friends. And so, as St. Paul says, that all the idols of the pagans are devils.
Yeah, it's in the Psalms too.
And I've seen in my little bit of exorcism work that these kind of things have their effect, and so you have to work against them. So why have this influence around you is only going to be bad for you. And for that matter, in charity, we shouldn't let somebody else have them because they're bad for them too. So they belong to you. The thing would be to do is to smash them and then bury them someplace away from where you are. Someplace that is not going to be dug up or something like that. And that way, if you could melt them down, so much the better. But otherwise, the other thing is to throw them into a deep sea somewhere so that no one else can get them, so that they don't have the influence. They can't do some harm to somebody else. So that's what they should do to.
Okay.
So he has a second question.
Yeah, the second question is asking about the Saint Benedict medal, the blessed Saint Benedict. Does a Saint Benedict medal retain its blessing if I give it to someone else? A few years ago, a friend of mine gave me blessed Saint Benedict medals from a Benedictine monastery. I've since been cleaning them and giving them away and place them in various houses. I also wear one. I read that blessed objects can lose their blessings if they're given away. I also give away blessed candles and other things. So basically, the question is, if you give something away that's blessed, does it lose its blessing?
No, I don't think so. I've never heard that. It gives us no.
I've heard it if it's sold.
Well, yes, if it's sold, that's something else. Because then by selling it, you've committed a sin of. Strictly speaking, if you attempted to sell a blessing, then it's a sin of simony. That is, of the Simon the magician who wanted to pay money for the spiritual powers. God says, freely have you received, freely give. So these spiritual things, whether it's a blessing or whether it's a sacrament or anything that God has given us, we shouldn't sell it, and we can't. We can, but then we commit a sin by doing that. So if you sold a blessed medal, particularly if they sold the blessed medal, particularly because it was blessed, you're selling the blessing. You shouldn't be doing that. Now, I understand making medals costs money, but you should really buy and sell them before they're blessed.
Yes.
So now, if you have blessed medals, they don't lose them. But if you actually sold it knowing you're selling the blessing is no longer there.
Yeah, so that's probably where she's getting the idea, that you lose the blessing. It's common Catholic practice for people to do exactly what you're doing, is to get blessed medals and give them out to people.
Yeah, I've blessed, and Padre Pio would be very happy when he had, a box full of rosaries. He realized that by blessing them and giving them, and the person, he wasn't giving them away, he would give them back to the person who gave them to him, and those persons would pass them out, and obviously, hopefully, that all those people getting that rosary, those extra rosaries, would use them to say their rosaries on. Mm-hmm. And so the whole idea of that, having your friend gave you 100 blessed medals, by all means, and you pass them out, by all means. You're not losing the blessing by giving them away at all.
No, and you're getting blessings for yourself. Too,
Yes, yeah,
by
absolutely.
doing that. So, all right. So anyway, so you don't have to worry. You don't lose the blessings, and it's.
Now you mentioned here if there's some corrosion on it, by all means, it should be cleaned off out of respect for it.
And that's not
but,
going to.
But that's not going to take away the blessing by cleaning it up.
No.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all we have time for at the moment. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you on the next broadcast. Thank you.